good morning, good welcome to you. Caught me in the middle of some home renovations. Give me a moment. How about there? That looks good. That looks good, huh? Well, okay, let's hope for the best, huh? Today we're gonna talk about something, okay? Here's what we're gonna talk about. Listen, reading music. Hello. Do you want to learn how to read music? Well, you come to the right place, because that's what this whole video is about. Yeah, and today specifically, I'm going to show you how to read and differentiate the notes on sheet music. You know, what notes are being represented on these friggin' lines? That's what I'm gonna tell you. And so on the screen right now, okay, we have a little staff thing. They're called staff lines, like a staph infection. Yeah, and notes can be written on either the lines or in between the lines. And each of those placements represent a specific fixed note, okay? And so here they are. You see them? Yeah. And so that first note, okay, yeah, you see on the first line before the long line, okay, which is called a ledger line, right, is the C note. It's always the C note. It's always going to be the C note. And that specific note on that ledger line is called middle C, okay? But we're not going to go into middle C because on guitar, middle C is written differently, and we're just not going to talk about it right now, okay? Just don't ever bring it up. And so then the note on the first space, okay, in between the ledger line and the first long line, okay, is the D note. It's always going to be the D note. And then so on, forever till the end of time, okay? And so by looking at this, okay, at this right there, we can see how all the notes are represented in order of the musical alphabet, right? Yeah, the letters, you know? But there is an even deeper organizational circumstance happening within this, okay? So if we take a look at only the notes on lines, what do we notice? Do you notice a pattern here? Well, I'll tell you. All of them are a third above the last. For example, we'll take a look at that first note on the ledger line, the C note, okay? The note on the line above that line is the E note. Yes. And what is the third above C? Well, that's E, okay? And then what is the note on the line above the E note? Well, that is the G note. And G is a third above E. Has everyone ever been to prison before? Tell me about it. How was it? I have a theory that I might like it. And then so on, okay? And then let's do the same for the notes on the spaces, okay? So that first space there is the D note. Yes, okay. And then what is the note on the space above it? It's the F. And F is a third above D, okay, and then so on forever until the end of time. And so this is very important, okay? It's a very important structure to be able to recognize because it makes reading chords on staff paper very clear. Yeah, because chords are built in thirds. But we're not gonna talk about chords. That's another lesson. Don't even go there. So now, there's an easy way to remember these positions. If we just ignore the notes on the lines for a moment, okay, and we only focus in on the notes on the spaces, we can see something. We can see that it spells out a word, okay? What does it spell out? It spells out defacing. Defacing, you just say to me. Okay? And so just remember that word, defacing. Yeah, because then you can work outwards from it, right? If we know that the note on that first space, okay, is the D note, then we know that the note on the first line above it is going to be the E note. Why? Because E comes after D. Right? And remember that all the notes are in order collectively as a whole, you know? Yes. So you just need to remember defacing. That's all. Defacing. And I'm pretty sure you could watch Dexter in there too. Yeah. And they give you bread and corn chowder and you get to watch Dexter all day long. And so, okay, great. We have a decent understanding, perhaps even a great one, of how to read notes on staff. Okay, now let's put it into application. Here on the screen is an example. Okay? Sorry, I'm going to get my papers because you see the example, but I don't see the example. Now I dropped my pencil and I'm trying to retrieve it. I'm trying to retrieve my pencil. Look, I got it. I got it right here. Okay, so let's identify these notes together, all right? And so that first note, okay, is on a space. Right? It's on that second space above the first space, which is below the line, okay? And so what note is that? Well, according to our word, defacing, the first space is going to be a D note, and then the space above is going to be an F. So this one specifically is an F note. Okay, great. And now our next note, okay, it's on a line, right? Yeah, we see it. Well, let's think about the notes in our spaces, right? And the note in the space below the line that our note is on, okay, they're trying to identify, is the A note. Because according to our word, defacing, D, F, A. And so if the space below it is an A note, well, the line above it is going to be the B note, because again, it follows in order. And so then we have our next note here. Okay, we just talked about that. That's the A note, right? It's on that space. And our next note is in a space again, and it's in a space directly above the A note space. Yeah, and so according to our word there, de face, egg, okay, the note that is going to be in the space above A is C. Yeah, so that's the C note. And then finally we have that last note on the line there, okay, on that line. And so what note is that? Well, if we look at the space beneath it, that is an E note. And so the line above it is going to be F. Yeah, and you could probably like ask for like crafts in there, I imagine. You could do like paint by numbers probably. You could probably even get a VHS tape in there. And you could watch like Sleeping Beauty, or even like, you know, Ferris Bueller, whatever you like. Okay, so now there are two things that we need to expound on, okay, concerning the matter. Notice how every letter note in the musical alphabet is represented, okay? But we're missing something, aren't we? Aren't we missing something? What about sharps and flats? What about sharps and flats? Where the heck are the notes with the sharps and the flats? How do they fit into this? Well, listen, this is where the key of a piece is very crucial. So let's go back to our example here, okay? If I tell you that this piece is in the key of F major, well, nothing changes visually, okay? All the notes are going to be exactly where they are. But what are the accidentals, which are sharps and flats, in the key of F major? Well, we have one flat, don't we? Yeah, the B. The B is flattened in the key of F major. So when we're playing this piece here, visually the notes do not change, but mentally in your brain, you have to be aware that the B note in this piece has to be played flattened. And I also really like the idea of cement beds. Yes, I sometimes will fall asleep on the ground. And it's very comfortable. I don't even need a blanket or anything. They should do vacation day trips to prison. And so how would you know though? How would you know? How would I know that? It's just one regular little piece. Well, this is where key signatures come into play, okay? Every single sheet music that you will find, okay, will tell you the key signature at the beginning of the piece. So like here, I didn't really write it here, but see here, you have a little treble. Where are we? Oh, treble. You're gonna have the key signature here. So if our piece here is being played in the F major key, then there's going to be one flat like such. Yeah, see it? And so the key signature tells you how many sharps or flats are in the specific key that this piece is in. And then you, of course, are going to have to know, okay, how many sharps or flats are in every key, right? And so there's a little bit of nuance to that, okay, because every major key has a relative minor key, which is going to contain, you know, the same number of sharps or flats. So in the case of F major, that key has one flat, but so does its relative minor key, D minor. And so how would you know then if a piece is in the major or the relative minor version? Well, you're usually able to tell by the first and last chord of the piece. Usually you would start and end the piece on the one chord of the key. So if it starts and ends on F, then it's in F major. If it starts and ends on D, then you're in D minor. Yeah, okay, great. Now we know all of that we just talked about. Next we need to talk about pitch direction. What is pitch direction? Okay. Listen, let's look at our piece here that we exampled together. We have an F and a B note, right? And the B is played as a B flat because we're in the key of F major, right? But there are multiple Fs and B notes on the guitar, okay? This guy. So if we start on this F note here, yeah, we need to follow with a B flat note. But the thing is, we have a B flat note here, and we also have one here. So how do I know which one to play? Well, listen. To me, by looking at our piece here, okay, we can see that the B note is written higher than the F note. And that visual direction tells us the pitch direction. Since it's written higher than F, it is meant to be played higher than F. Meaning, if we're playing this F note here, okay, we would not follow it up with a B flat note here. Why? Because this note is lower in pitch than the F note, okay? So we would choose this one instead. Yeah. If the piece was telling us to play a B flat note below the F, it would be represented like this. Yeah. See how you visually see it below the F? Yeah. And so when we're reading music, sheet music, okay, we also have to keep in mind the directionality of the notes expressed on the paper. The truth of the matter is I never... Was that lightning? Ow! That was lightning. Okay, so now let's play this whole thing together. Okay, let's play it together. So we have an F note, B flat above, A below, C above, and then F. I didn't show you anything, did I? Totally. And so now allow me to rearrange the pitch order of these notes. Okay, so the notes are exactly the same, just the pitch direction changes. Okay, so that's the difference. Do you see it? Okay, just so we can understand that the direction of pitches are guided by the visual cues on paper. All right, so here it is. Yeah, so let's play it. That exact same little melody, just represented this way. Totally. That's it. That's the end of the lesson. And so we didn't cover the rhythmic values of these notes on paper, and that's because I already made a video about that. And so I'll leave a link for that one if you want to watch it. Yeah. And then you could just, kind of combine the two lessons in your brain. And then you could also, if you want some more extra practice material on this matter, you could head over to my dad's YouTube channel, because he has play along sheet music all over there. And I use it all the time to practice reading music. So I'll leave that link down below too. Okay, that's all. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being. Thanks for all that you do. I'm tired. Do you ever look out your window and, oh, it's raining? I was gonna say something else, but it's raining. Protest, open up the prisons, but not to get the prisoners out, to get the civilians in. There needs to be more access to prisonhood. That's what I think. Regular civilians deserve prison time. That's all, everyone. Thanks for watching, thanks for being, thanks for all this you do. Don't forget, head over to meganchurchmusic.com, sign our petition to send pigeons to space. Okay, we're sending them up to space because they were denied access to prison time. And also, while you're there, why don't you check out the 70 Singing Guitar eBooks? We got 2 of them. We got the 70 Singing Guitar City ebook. It's a chord, scale, and theory reference book, all organized in the cage system. All right, you never see anything like it before. It's got a bunch of theory concepts, all in visual examples, and it's a book you can study from it. And if you okay, and then we also got the 70s and beginner guitar guide. That's the beginner guitar guide. Everything you need to learn at the beginning of playing guitar is all in the book. And it's also got a practice schedule to implement all of the things in it. Yes, and both of those books have cookie recipes. And then if you're looking for a course, possibly one where you could learn how to build major scales, how we build chords from those scales, how we organize it all into keys, and how that is the foundation of all of music theory, then go check out the Key to Music Theory World Tour course. Yes. It's a course where we do all the things that I just mentioned, okay? It is the absolute foundation of music theory. Everything about music theory is built upon this course right here. Yes. So that's all. Don't forget to subscribe. At 5,000 subscribers, I'm going to solve a Rubik's Cube. Me, right here. On camera for the world to see. You could kind of see it up there, the Rubik's Cube in question. It's just waiting to be solved. Poor little guy. Look, I got a new album. It's called Electric Light Shows. It's got little alien guys in it. Let me tell you the story about these gentlemen here. Okay, listen. This gentleman here, his name was Feisty. And Feisty was a little alien man. He worked as the Mars PR agent. And so one day, Feisty went to Mars to meet with his clients, and he went over there, and the Martians made him some Mars lunch, which is basically just like rocks. He said, thank you very much. They had a nice lunch together, and then this guy here, his name, okay, is Bencha, and Bencha is he's actually the president of Jupiter. Yeah, he's a Jupiterian. The planets all have a annual, it's like a picnic, but it's less of a picnic and more of just a bunch of aliens saluting one another, carrying flags, and human captives. But they really like it. The humans I'm talking about. That's all, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all that you do. Don't forget, if ever you get captivated by an alien and brought to a parade picnic on Saturn's rings, just remember, bring a snack. They only have space snacks, which are not very delicious. It's all dehydrated, and they put them in like little suction cup bags, and they don't have scissors up there either. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. If you want to subscribe, you can do that. If you don't want to subscribe, you don't have to. Don't let me intimidate you with my cane. Don't let me do it. Don't let me do it. I got a cane, but I'm afraid to use it. Okay, that's all, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all that you do. Don't forget, okay? So I'll see you soon then, right? Okay, bye.